go ahead and start with the Carson Beck news. And Mr. G, Mike, I know you are going to have something to say about this. Carson Beck is transferring from the University of Georgia to the University of Miami. It's all about the U, right, G, Mike?
It's always all about the U, baby. And over here at the U, half of the fans like it and half of the fans don't.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. So the Carson Beck deal is going to be worth, the NIL deal is worth about anywhere expected between $4 to $10 million. He'll finish up his Georgia career with 7,912 passing yards, 58 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, a 68% completion rating, and 2 national titles. But I want to jump back into one thing real quick because I found this extremely interesting about this Carson Beck deal. Just to go over this NIL deal one more time, between $4 and $10 million. Travis Hunter made a joke about it, saying I might stay back in college one more year for that kind of money. But just to go over this deal one more time, he is going to be making as a base salary next year more than Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, Brock Bowers, and Brock Purdy his entire NFL career. And this dude is going to be making $4 to $10 million, man. That is just absolutely insane how college football has just changed how everything is now, man. All right, Mr. G, Mike, I know you are a resident fan here. Won't you let the people know what's going on?
Yeah, man, over here on the side, half of the fans like it, half of the fans don't. For the fans that don't like it, they don't think that Carson Beck can be that guy to get us to the promised land of the national championship game or even try to win it, which I kind of, sometimes I kind of do agree with that. But, dude, man, since the early 2000s, it's been too long that we haven't had a great studded quarterback. Last year we had Cam Ward. He put up amazing numbers. He was a Heisman Trophy finalist. He's probably going to be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, in my opinion. But now we got back-to-back years where we got 2 great quarterbacks. Yeah, he's not going to put up Cam Ward's numbers. I'm not saying that. I don't think he's going to be that prolific out there. But he can get us wins, and he can lead us to wins. And the number 1 problem for last year was not the offense. The offense was great. But it was the defense. Teams were scoring at least 30 plus on us. And it's like when you want to compete against these top teams like University of Georgia, Ohio State, Notre Dame, et cetera, you got to have a top-level defense. You can't have just a mediocre defense and have a top-level offense because then the offense have to recuperate for you guys all the time. No, the defense has to be amazing just like the offense. And that's what we need next season because the offense is going to be good. But we just got to see what's good with the defense.
Yeah, and there's also a rumor going on too that some of the wide receivers as well that Georgia had might be coming with them. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. They have the number 1 drops in the country, but it could be kind of interesting what they got going on there. What do you think, BC?
Well, no, and I was gonna say to like G Mike's credit, like you gotta make sure the defense is gonna be top notch next year. That's so huge. Like I know the game of football has shifted over the years. A lot of times we think, oh, it's a passing league, oh, it's an offensive league, and this is speaking on the pros. And in college, you see a lot of times with the air raid systems, you see a lot with a lot of the schools that are great with ground and pound, like triple option. The offense gets such a focus, but really, defense still does win you the championships at the end of the day. You got to keep points off the board. Yes. The main objective is to score points, but if you like G Mike has said, your offense is having to wear their superhero cape 99% of the time. And the one time they're not so super, the defense has got to step up and they fall flat. That's the difference between national championship and second place.
Yeah, well said, man. Yeah, it's going to be kind of cool to see him go to another school, another team, see how this actually works out. He had kind of a down year. I think Georgia in general just kind of had a down year. They were so dominant for so long. The rumor was that they just kind of let him go. Now they're kind of backtracking that and saying that he chose to leave and that they did want him to come back. They only had Gunnar Stockton, only played 2 games. The kid did look like he understood what was going on, and a full season of being the number 1 could actually help him out. But having said that, Carson Beck to Miami, I think it's going to work out pretty well for them. It's going to be a second move for him because I think him going straight to the draft would have been a bad move for him because he did not have a great year. He looked inaccurate. He just did not have a good year. And a lot of people were saying that it was because of how dominant all the passing they had. They had Brock Bowers. They had, the list goes on of their offensive weapons that they had. And the minute he loses them, he kind of looks pedestrian. So with Miami having said that, though, Miami still has a great offense. It was like you were saying, G Mike, the defense was what the problem was. So Carson Beck to Miami, I think will work out. His girlfriend is already down there. So that's already been a big social media thing going on. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun for Miami. They're going to continue to stay exciting at least and fun.
Yeah, and also too, like I will say, I do love this move, not just for Beck, not just for Miami, but also for the fact that it's another team in the SEC taking a hit. So the once mighty SEC, dominant conference powerhouse, is starting to show some chinks in the armor right there.
Yeah, yeah, it was almost like you would never leave an SEC, but yeah, it's interesting. I think it's starting to make a little bit more sense for the ACC because of the automatic bids that we're getting as well. So that makes sense for Carson Beck to make that move. So I like the move for Carson Beck.